Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is high time that we then debunk and interrogate what exactly is Erick Omondi about. And when I was just trying to dig deep and data mine on what is behind Erick Omondi, I was shocked to realize that a publicity gimmick is being done at the behest of the cost of living question. But the tragedy is how men in Ruto regime are actually playing in Erick Omondi's trap. Or rather, they are some of the actors in that script. And so it kept me, I was a bit wondering, I was just asking myself a question. Do Kenya Kwanza feel comfortable with what Erick is doing? Do they feel comfortable with it? Or what exactly is going on? Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. For those who are watching us, I also want to remind you that I also have the other new channel where we want to cover human interest stories. So if you have a story, even apart from politics, a human interest, a confession or a revelation that we want to make that can motivate and uplift other people, then I've shared my WhatsApp number there. You can just link up with me and we shall plan on how we can have a sit down. I want you to watch this video and we're going to ask ourselves questions so that I debunk to you. You know, someone once told me, a member of this channel told me, Kevin, I don't trust Erick Omondi. Now that is the day he was arrested, ile atao. Yeah, you know, and I was like, fine, but he looks the course, but he told me, Kevin, look at it twice. I don't know whether I remember that name. Know yourself. He told me, Kevin, look at it twice. I don't believe what Erick Omondi is doing. I don't believe. I think he's up to something else. I don't think he's in the same course with what the Azimio are pushing. So, I wanted to watch this video keenly. He was actually in City Stadium to donate unga. That is allegedly to support Kenyans wale wenye hawajiwezi. That's why he was in City Stadium. Then I wanted to look at this place. He's standing with the police. I am not going there. Why? Because I think he's doing business. He's just on his own. There's something he's doing that you don't want to look for. Now, let me make some few observations. If in this, now let's just be fair. Even if William Ruto is uncomfortable with the protests, who can arrest you because you are donating unga? Just reason, just simple logic. How can you be arrested because you are donating unga? You know, that's it. And in fact, no one will arrest you because you're donating unga. It's not a sin. What is so? It's not something that is illegal. People give. During Christmas, we saw Charity Charlene Ruto in Kibera donating unga. Every time there are those people who are doing charity, they donate unga and things to children's homes. Even the people who go to town on Sundays and feed street children, who asks them? No one. So we are just trying to think big about this. Number one, there's no one who can go after you because you're donating unga. Let's take it. Number two, this is it. If I want to tell you that is just an advertising. So where are the ungas that were being donated? In those, the unga that were there, I'm told that is bail moja. It's one bail and it's nowhere. The only unga seen in that event is the word is holding. That's what I'm telling you. That it was actually a publicity stunt. In fact, you can even ask yourself a simple question. Who was to be targeted there? If you go next to City Stadium, and it was not inside the stadium, it was outside the stadium, and they did not want to go and storm the stadium, there's nothing. They were not even on the road, so there was no commotion, there was no traffic snarl up that were bringing. Clearly, Erick Omondi was actually just on some publicity stand and is simply doing business. The tragedy, what is wrong here is, I haven't realized that the Azimio team had been roped into it. I remember the other day was arrested, Raila was saying, Erick ameshikwa achiliwe. No! Erick is doing his own thing and is not in the cost of living. And I think the Azimio team is speaking about something very serious, and now the comedy in Erick Omondi is now in it. So we must say it as it is. There's nothing with Erick Omondi is doing there. Ladies and gentlemen, what puzzles me is how the police officers are actually aiding that gimmick. Because I know there was one point that came up, I think, the first instance, people asking, is it that Erick is just riding on the cost of living euphoria to position himself politically to trend so that he can win some endorsements? Or is it that he's working for intelligence so that he can also marshal the roots? He can also marshal some youths around his cause. All those questions kept on coming. But from what I'm seeing, there's nothing is going on. What should actually worry Kenya Kwanza is this: that Erick is actually amplifying the cost of living question using the unga he's advertising. He was asked there and said he was giving. He's amplifying it, and that's what I have seen efforts by the Kenya Kwanza team trying to use, their bloggers are going to supermarkets and taking photos of an unga that is, I think, 179 shillings per kg, and then sharing that in Twitter saying that Ruto has dropped the price of goods. They're trying to counter those narratives about the cost of living. But Erick Omondi is actually amplifying it. Now, that is the value he's adding into it. The value he's adding into it, even though he's stage managing the arrest and all that, but is adding the amplification of the call. And is talking about unga. The second thing that I'm seeing here is, there is emotional consolidation of the young people in the cause. I checked the social media page, the Facebook page of Erick Omondi in the comment section, and people are talking, there is a lot of sympathy being outpouring of sympathy statements on Erick Omondi. Erick this, why are they doing that? So they're already charging the youth against it. And that's why I say that there are people within Kenya Kwanza that are indirectly aiding and hyping the mass action. I don't know why. But you need to be very careful, and that's why I want to tell Kenya Kwanza that if you make a narrow thinking, if you have a narrow understanding that all those in government are supporting Kenya Kwanza, then you are in for a shocker. Even the police are not well paid. Remember, even the police were promised salary increment. They were promised itaongezwa. Now what they have done is a task force that is being formed, and now things are going on. What they have seen here is task force is being formed on police matters, but rolling out of a new uniform did not require public participation, or rather that task force. So even the police are seeing missed priority in terms of them being addressed, the issues being addressed, and others. So what exactly is playing out here is there are people who are also unhappy with the Kenya Kwanza. It also projects the Kenya Kwanza as a government of impunity, because people would actually ask, Kindiki should actually summon those officers and ask them, why did they arrest Erick Omondi? To start there. Is there any reason? Was there anything wrong with donating unga? If he donated, even though I understand there is no unga that was donated. Now what we've gathered here is that the unga that is advertising is the companies around industrial area around that place. If he wanted to give unga, he would have gone to Kibera, Ndeuko, give peacefully. But that place is going to give around that city stadium, the people are there, Juakali people. Of course, they also deserve. But then if you are really in the charity, then you'll go to the most needy. Go to Kibera, Madare, Mukuru kwa Njenga, Ngando, and everywhere. So it's a bit of It's a bit of a challenge. Impunity, while there is, it projects Kenya Kwanza's government that has a lot of impunity. And I have a feeling that it was unnecessary. But how the police were dragged into it is something that Kindiki should have an answer to.